very refreshing to see that is the face of LSU football. That is the voice of LSU football, and that he can, even when you were watching Les Miles, you were just kind of hoping and praying that the guy could complete a sentence. You know what I mean? Like, it was easy to crack on O about his accent, his voice, and his gravelly tone and all that stuff. But like, even dating back to Les, he would go and turn this into a spectacle. You know what I mean? Where he would say something so stupid and dumb and off the wall and couldn't complete a sentence, and just a terrible representation for our state. You know what I mean?
He somehow spun it into being a victory, though. Every time everybody's like, "Oh, he's an affable goof."
Like, that was to me
like
that
Mike
was
Tyson post-fight.
We've always felt sorry for the kid in your group. You've always felt sorry for a friend. You've always felt sorry for somebody in your class.
When you're counting down the reading list, you're like, "Oh God!" You can
give them a compliment, but you're really just kind of backhanding them back, on the head of. How many
fingers can he fit in his nose?
Isn't he funny?
Yeah. He's our goof.
Isn't he a goof? Right.
Yeah.
Like, where people try to embrace him as, he's our dumbass. You know
right.
what I mean? Where it was like, well,
you can't make fun of him, but we can.
He's still a belligerent idiot. You know what I mean? Where he can't complete a sentence. But that was, dating back now, well past a decade, that has been what LSU has been represented by at spring meetings, SEC media days, all of these events where publicly somebody's got to speak for LSU, somebody's got to speak for the state. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to represent the colors. And to have Brian Kelly sitting up there yesterday, even Scott Woodward, and I know Woodward's been on the job, but just, his respect that he has from his peers, from people around him. It was as if always, you were watching Joe Oliva kind of out of the side of your eye, waiting on him to say something that was going to be embarrassing for the university or not know what he's talking about. Right? Orgeron would walk into trap after trap after trap on a
that he would make he would make his own traps. Like, you made this bed. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Even Will Wade, would show up to these events, and he was kind of a marked man, right? Where, people were almost looking for, they were looking to get more drama, more story out of him than they were really looking to dive deep and learn about his program. Now you've got guys and people representing the university that, look, it's all business. It's all business. And I think Kelly was sold on that when he was hired. And that's what, the LSU administration, I think, was looking for when they were looking to fill the position.
It has to be relieving at some point.
I would assume so, especially for people that have been there for a while, that have been doing this stuff for a while. Think of Michael Bonnett's job, how much easier it got.
Oh my God!
With Brian Kelly and
woke up in a cold sweat. The coaching show is supposed to be a nothing burger, and it was primetime television last year because you didn't know what I was going to say
every week.
Every week, they're to kill somebody.
Exactly. That's the stuff that you had to be concerned about.
Let's get back to football.
Yes. Fellas.
What's happening?
We're all, well paid for this. Let's take it. This is not the Jerry Springer show.
We can't even go to TJ Ribs.
You know what I mean? For God's sakes, can you just tell us about the offensive game plan this week?
Well, he didn't know.
It's just, and now, Bonnett is showing up on a level playing ground with the rest of
finally
the
have
conference.
A drink.
Yeah, right. Where you can talk about, what's the major concerns of, what's going on in different campuses, rather than LSU always being the center of the conversation of, Jesus, man, what are y'all doing down there? Good God.
A lot of drinking.
Every time I look up, I can't swipe through I can't refresh my social media feed without seeing a shirtless coach or an idiot speaking into a microphone, man. What are y'all doing down there? But now it feels like, with Kelly and Woodward and Mulkey and McMahon and all these people that are representing LSU, there's just, the story is different now around this athletic department.
It's kind of a testament to LSU that they succeeded in spite of themselves in some cases.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be a program that's on the tier that it's on when you look at the history of the coaches and the hirings, and it's just there's so much talent here that you can win in spite of yourself, and now it feels like, oh, this could be much easier than we made it out to be. And now you finally have a guy that you don't have to hold your breath whenever you go to SEC Media Day, whenever you have meetings in Destin. You're like, oh, all of these answers are normal. These are stock answers. Instead of you call Panamsky. Like, I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what that is.
You're right.
So
it's just refreshing.
It is. It's very refreshing. And I think that was a lot of the purpose of bringing in a personality like Brian Kelly, was to take this concern that LSU administrators had. And, whenever you walk any of these people out into the public, we shouldn't have to be so concerned and tight on what they're going to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you're playing craps every time you put these people in front of a microphone, and that shouldn't be part of the job. You know what I mean? Like, whoever we're going to pay the millions upon millions to represent the programs in the university, they should be able to complete a sentence or at least say something that we don't have to be concerned about and go back behind and have to clean up. And, with Brian, that's not even
on the table.
It's not even, it's not even a concern. You don't even have to, because it's so business oriented, organized, structured, and, competent, really. You know what I mean? And again, I don't mean to, I'm not going to, every time I turn it on, Culotta's shitting on Orgeron. I'm not.
Les can get it too.
Yeah, right. Believe me, I'd much rather sit up here and do 2 hours of just dumping on Les Miles than anything else.